Allah guys, Assalamu alaikum, it's your boy the Broken Pasta back with a new video, and this is Critical Syloti Theory Episode 3. And the reason I'm making this video is because I came across this post which was trying to criticize the religious crowd in Bangladesh, saying Bangladesh should focus on an ethnic identity country making instead of a religious identity. And here are some points why I think it's wrong. First of all, check out this map here. You might call it South Asia or whatsoever, but it's the Indian subcontinent, or in if you actually go by regional name, every land beyond the river Indus, which is like somewhere here, and like so that makes it all India, yeah. And this is one of the Indic scripts. This says Shahab in Syloti, which is my name. You guys didn't actually genuinely think my name is the Broken Pasta, yeah? Because like that's not my government name, bro. But anyways, so here are some facts, right? So Bangladesh, or the country of Bengalis, is made up of three ethnic homelands, or three ethnic Heimats, if you'd like to put the exact term: Bengal, Sylot, and Sitang. Yeah, and so if you're calling it Bangladesh, it has to at least include majority of Bengal, or like the whole of Bengal. And West Bengal is like literally 50% of Bengal, and there is a history of the Bengali culture in Bangladesh being very Persianized or very different from the Bengali culture in West Bengal. East Bengal had a different thing. Sylot is a part of East Bengal. It's more part of the Kamrupi culture. Sitang and Rakhine are literally twin. Yeah, so you just have to get that part right. But like even if we assume that there are so many tribal ethnic minorities who don't ascribe to the identity of Bengalis, but you know, with Bangladesh, it's sort of still fine, even though the country's name is based on Bengal. Bangladeshi nationalism is still fine, but Bangladeshi nationalism is centered on Islamic identity and religious tolerance. And here is why. Because before 1971, this was East Pakistan, a country which was formed in South Asia to protect Muslim sovereignty in the Indian subcontinent. Yes, and maybe there is a whole debate of whether this was wrong or right, and you know, looking at India's track record of how it treats its religious minorities, it must have been wrong, it must have been right. We are not getting into that, but what we are getting into is that the borders exist, the law happened, India split up, Pakistan was formed on both sides, Pakistan split up, Bangladesh was formed. And at this point, genuinely, going forward, we must have a European Union style of union. And here is why. But also ethnic autonomy in each of these countries. So India has already got it figured out. My school of theory is that languages, your core language, your mother tongue, centers what cultural expressions you decide to express, and also what cultures you decide to follow. And so, for example, if I'm a Syloti speaker by my mother tongue, I am an ethnic Syloti. So, ethno-linguistic identity is ethnicity, in my opinion, and many of the other sociologists' opinion. And that's how I'd like to stick to it. So, therefore, in Bangladesh, there must be an arrangement for autonomy for the Sylotis, the Bengalis, and the Satgayas. But what you also have to understand is that the whole region, is culturally connected through many different ways, right? Through history, for example, the Mughal history and the pre-Vedic history, which is mostly mythical and religious, but still has semblance of truth in its unity perspective. And also the fact that all these languages or ethnic groups are very much connected to the Indo-Aryan ideas. And then we must actually connect back to that. And okay, this is funny. The British Empire, which is centered in Britain, ruled over different colonies within the region, and which formed the three new countries, right? And every British citizen now has some sort of visa flexibility to visit all these countries. But all these countries cannot visit each other very easily. It's got a lot of visa restrictions, which is crazy. Like about 50 or 60 years ago, our ancestors, my grandfather, could visit India, what is now India or what is now Pakistan, easily without even having a visa. maybe like he needed a Tonga, and we have a faster mode of transportation, but we're still taking the same time as Tonga because we have to apply for the visas and stuff. And that's not supposed to happen. Think about it. Think about the poetic injustice of it all. But also the fear that there would be, oppression in terms of religion is gone, because now you have religious sovereignty of Muslims in two corners of the subcontinent, in Pakistan and Bangladesh. And so, therefore, now, since the sovereignty is already established, and since there are already nation states and countries, there should be a freedom of movement like the European Union. The South Asian Union should be a thing. Technically, to be honest, if you look into it, the borders are semi open. People are going into each other's lands. But, like, genuinely just open it. Let there be trade and people's movement freely. Yes, keep your law and order, make it tight, make the bureaucracy a bit more, I don't know, strong, but you have to let people cross into each other's country. This is one land. You get me? Three flags, one land. And the sovereignty will be protected, inshallah. Yeah, European Union, when those countries were forming, they didn't like each other. Most of them were ops with each other, but they still found a common ground. The idea of being European. We must find our identity and idea of being Desis. Why are all the Indians and Bangladeshis and Pakistanis and Nepalis and Sri Lankans, when they come out of the country, and the Bhutanese and the Maldivians, when they come out of the country into Britain, we have South Asian student society, South Asian this and that. But back in South Asia, we are not uniting on any aspect whatsoever. This is genuinely not needed. Like, guys, like, we are so educated, this generation. We have already, like, made significant political changes. Inshallah, I expect my generation to actually clock this and, like, create this new arrangement. First of all, more local autonomy on basis of ethnic groups. If the ethnic area or the Heimat is too big, split it into several groups so that each group has a chance to preserve its identity and history, instead of being forced into this homogenization measure, which is, being Hindi speaker in India, or being Bengali speaker in Bangladesh, or being Urdu speaker in Pakistan. Genuinely, the native ethnicities and cultures are getting wiped out. This is not. And then, like, few years down the line, our future generations will be like, yeah, our ancestors were, like, just winging it because they didn't protect our, native cultures and stuff. So, like, think about this, and we must work towards it. Maybe, like, start in my comment section if you want to have a discussion. Just do not, like, larp into all this racism and stuff like that. We are one people. We are brown people. Desis. We are Desis. Open the borders. Make I don't know, an orange passport, fam. Because, like, orange is, like, very much associated with Indus River and the Indus people, which is all of us. I genuinely don't know why I decided to lob in this particular expressions and dialects today, but coming down to the main points here, we must start developing as a people if we want our homelands to prosper. Because the more we are divided, the more problems happen. We must respect each other's differences if those differences are found on historical reasons. There is a reason traditions exist, but we must also put in modern solutions and do something about this. So, like, just tell me what you guys understood in the comments, and, like, if you didn't understand any stuff, I'm happy to explain it, like, but we must do something about this.